Now, in the event that the LifeTrack unit shows there's a problem, in this case there's a little infrared output that can be, a button can be pressed and it will spit out basically a history of what has happened to the vaccine to make it go bad. And this history is shown in a little more detail here. What is happening is that in this example we have a example of oral polio vaccine tag that, and remember, oral polio vaccine should be frozen. And here we see a series of temperature readings taken every 12 hours, showing, okay, yes, it's been frozen at -20, everything's fine, everything's fine. And then suddenly, right in the circled area, we see something weird happened. You know, it suddenly has gone from -20, freezing conditions, to, oops, somebody seems to have left it at room temperature for a long time. And in this version, the recorder, the electronic recorder in the LifeTrack unit basically is acting a lot like an airplane black box. The LifeTrack unit is going, hey, we had a stability crash, and I will record the data that occurred right around the stability crash so people can understand later what happened. And it continues recording so that you can figure out, aha, you know, this unit expired 2,400 hours ago, and we can ask ourselves, okay, who had it 2,400 hours ago? And we suspect that whoever had it then dropped the ball, and corrective action can be then done. One other nice feature of the LifeTrack approach is that there is a lot of data right now available for VVM, even though we know they're not really very good for free-sensitive vaccines. Still, there's a ton of data available that would be wonderful to use to simplify validation if we eventually went to a LifeTrack approach. And here I'm showing that here are the characteristics of 4 different VVM units that WHO has certified and their characteristics. What I'm showing is it's actually very easy to program a LifeTrack unit to act exactly like a VVM, which of course is, keep in mind, this gives you a VVM that now records exactly when something died. But we can go one step further. We can make something that, for example, for a freeze-sensitive vaccine, we can make it act like a VVM above the freezing point and take advantage of all the data that WHO has accumulated. But then we can make this VVM plus accurately show that the vaccine has been damaged by freezing, and we get the best of both worlds. We take advantage, we leverage the huge amount of VVM data. On the other hand, we also get more accuracy because we can accurately now warn people if the vaccine has been damaged. So this might make the validation a little more straightforward or simple. In terms of implementation and cost for this approach, these little prototypes I'm showing here cost $5 per unit. And again, these were made on a really low budget just to show the concept to folks. If we got serious about this, one way to go might be to contract with high volume electronics manufacturers. For example, digital watch manufacturers. Chinese, as an example, pump out tens of millions of digital watch chassis for under $1 each right now. And it's easy to see how a LifeTrack unit, how one of those could be converted into a LifeTrack type unit with a slight microprocessor change and a little programming change. And by the time you had sufficient validation, I'd estimate these things to be made for about $2 or $3 per unit. And that looked like basically a little digital watch, but it's not a digital watch, it's a miniaturized LifeTrack unit. It goes on the carton. It's possible to get still more sophisticated. Even today, paper-thin batteries, flexible paper-thin batteries, and flexible electronic ink paper-thin displays are now available and are getting quite cheap. And by simply taking a paper-thin battery, a paper-thin flexible display, and a little microprocessor chip, it's available now, and within, I think, 2 years, more sophisticated, almost flexible tag-like LifeTrack units could be made. And in high volume, I think these could be produced for about $1.50 to $2 per unit. Now, how this would they be used? As I mentioned earlier, one way to do it would be like in cartons of, say, 10 vaccine vials, which would then you'd fit a whole bunch of cartons in a box. But you would, in terms of cost, let's say you put a $2 to $3 LifeTrack unit on a carton of 10 vaccine vials, then the costs are already down to about 20 to 30 cents per vial. Not as cheap as VVM. VVM are about 5 cents each, but keep in mind, VVM are missing all this freeze damage right now, and you have to pay a little something to catch that. Another way to reduce costs still further is to simply use LifeTrack units on a more random basis as sort of tracers. You may not put them on all the cartons, but you might put them on a random sampling of cartons, so that the advantage of a tracer approach is it's very low cost. At the same time, it's going to have a high likelihood of detecting weak links in the cold chain and kind of forcing through cold chain corrections, which chances are will be a little bit traumatic at first, but ultimately will ensure that good vaccines are going to everybody. And again, in terms of the standard procedures here, I think any worker in the cold chain might be instructed just to glance at the LifeTrack display. If it's showing that things are good, then just that's great. Just ship the vaccine along to the next link. Don't do anything else. If the LifeTrack is showing, however, that something bad has happened, then report it. Don't ship it to the next link of the chain, but instead take the LifeTrack unit and either analyze it on the spot or else send it back to the factory where it can be downloaded, and again, people can determine exactly what happened, and chances are a lot of people can adjust their refrigerators when this is first introduced. If there's interest, further information can be found in my article, Advances in Vaccine Stability Monitoring Technology, which was published in Vaccine 2006, volume 24, and that's available online or from Vaccine, and there are a number of other publications I've done as well. Additionally, you can check my website at clinisense.com, and please feel free to email me at szweig@clinisense.com. And again, take a look at the website if you have questions. Thank you.